Yeah, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to some ESEA invite action on Team Fortress TV. I am one of your two hosts tonight, eXtine. I am joined by Deathy. Deathy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Oh, fantastic. Looking forward to seeing some great TF2. We got Faint Gaming versus Velocity. This is an invite matchup with some impact, some playoff implications. We were just talking kind of about that in the overall state of invite. Certainly, Froyo Tech, the perennial outperformers. They are doing fantastic this season. Always a force to be reckoned with. And their offspring, Froyo Black, have also had some roster shakeups, but are proving to be certainly a force to be reckoned with as well. Deathy, do you want to talk a little bit about what's been going on with Froyo Black?
Yeah, sure. I guess I can explain the situation a little bit for people that haven't been following the scene very closely. So basically, just to kind of summarize it a little bit, there were Furrier Black and Swift, which were, the contenders for top invite with Freyo. I'd say they were like a little bit above everyone else, kind of. And there's been some issues with Swift's roster as well as Freyo Black's roster, and they kind of ended up fusing. And so now Freyo Black is using Swift's roster, and their roster is also like mixed with some of the Swift players, so they're not like entirely the Furrier Black players, although I'm not sure if their roster is fully stabilized yet, so I don't really want to go on record and say exactly who their players are, because I'm not entirely sure myself. I think they're still possibly changing some things. I'm not sure though. Maybe it's solidified. And that's basically what happened with the whole Furrier Black thing. And so Furrier Black, the core of them is still alive. They've just taken some Swift players and kind of fused into a Swift Froyo Black kind of deal.
Yeah, and so that kind of opens things up a little bit. We got two of the teams that are looking to maybe fill that gap left by Swift, Faint and Velocity, combined with another one of our top teams. They're a newer team. I'm sorry, I really don't want to mess their name up though.
Mentality?
With, Mentality, yeah, Mentality trying to sneak in there against Ascent as well as King's Crew. Out of that whole, gang, we got the two top teams right now. Velocity is 3-2. Faint Gaming is 2-2. And they're going to battle it out here tonight on Process. I'm super excited to see how this goes. Definitely very talented rosters on both sides. Deathy, why don't you talk about at least one of the rosters real quick here?
Sure.
What are your thoughts are?
In terms of thoughts, I guess I can go in general play styles of both teams. I played on Faint until very recently, yesterday in fact, and I can tell you that they're definitely a more aggressive team. They're more focused on DM fights and less on strategy. They're not necessarily the most coordinated team since they're a very new team, but they've definitely got some very, very strong players on their team, especially DM wise. They've got some of the stronger DM players in Invite, and so they're definitely more of an aggressive type team. Whereas Velocity has been known maybe a little bit more for their methodical gameplay. Their they don't really take a whole lot of risk. They play a little bit more passive, and they've definitely got the synergy to pull it off. I mean, Velocity as a team has been together for multiple seasons. I don't know exactly how many, but I know the core of Jarrett and Shamu have been together for at least 5 seasons, if I'm correct. And then Sky and Rakusa have been playing together for 8 seasons or something. So we've definitely got some very, very strong synergy on their side.
Yeah, definitely. Velocity has been a fun team to watch. I know that from the pulpits, I've harped on about team stability and just kind of how playing with the same people over time, will lead to results, lead to the team growing together. But oftentimes, we don't even really get much of a chance to see that. Velocity, kind of one of the more rare examples that's stayed together for a really long time and has just been working at it. They haven't, in some senses, they haven't had, super awesome results over the years, nothing that's too stand out. But on the other hand, you definitely have to recognize how much work it takes to be at the top level of TF2. Just at the invite, not Froyo Tech level, but just to be up here competing with everybody in this invite level. It takes a lot of work. And Velocity certainly have accomplished quite a bit in their TF2 careers to get to this point, and they're just still showing that they're growing. They're getting closer and closer to reaching that kind of highest level of TF2.
For sure. And I mean, even though, Velocity might not have had any, second place finishes or even third place, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they've gotten fourth place a couple times, but they haven't really gotten third. This could definitely be their first season where they get third, especially since Swift is now dead, and that only leaves Froyo and Froyo Black as the teams really kind of standing, maybe a level above everyone else, and so Feint, Mentality, and Velocity are all going to be battling for that third and fourth place. And I think Velocity, considering how much experience they have together, their roster is pretty much exactly the same from last season. It's actually exactly the same from last season, if I'm not mistaken, and this could really be their season.
Oh, yeah. Match getting underway as Boar actually drops some strong language right before the match goes live. Anybody want to hit that report button if you got it handy? But we are about to go live here on Process. Looking forward to an exciting match here. I definitely really like this map. I think it's always a fun map to see what teams pull out, and leads to some aggressive TF2.
Yeah, for sure. On this first mid here, I'm going to be watching Jarrett, the demo man for Velocity. Just doing a bit of a pack rollout here. Nothing too much happening. Spamming the other demo, waiting for an opportunity to happen here. He sees Broking jumping in. Doesn't really manage to connect the sticky. Gets a little bit of damage up top. Seems like a bit of a passive mid for now. As the soldiers jump in for Mentality, Sky goes down. Bear goes down. Both medics down. It's a scrim right now. Just 4v4. And looks like Velocity is going to take that one with only Broking remaining here in sewers. I believe he's going to die here.
Yeah, getting cleaned up here. Not going to be able to get the health pack. Shamu jumping on top of him. He's elusive for a while, but Broking does get taken out eventually. So Velocity off to a fast start here, taking that mid fight, and Sky coming back towards the middle point, so they'll have a little bit of time to kind of form up here before they push forward.
Yep, it's going to be an even Ubers situation here. And Boar is on Sniper, so not too surprising here. We haven't had a chance to talk about it in pregame, but Boar, definitely known for his Sniper gameplay. I'd say right now he's definitely the best Sniper in Invite. Definitely the best Sniper in North America, probably. And he plays a lot of Highlander Snipers, so let's see what he can do here. He's peeking the sewer shutter, looking for a shot, sees the med, misses the shot though, and so now they know they have a Sniper, and it's going to be a bit harder for him to do something.
Yeah, Baradactyl going to be stuck behind that spire. Boar sticking out of Africa side. Takes some damage, but is going to get healed up. And Feint trying to push into him, trying to maybe get a kill there. But Broking is going to have to back up and take an arrow heal there.
Yeah, I'd like to see Feint just not giving too much space to Boar, because when he really gets those shots, if he gets even an opportunity to hit one of those shots, he's not going to miss those. I mean, he missed the medic in the first shot, but he's definitely the most consistent Sniper in Invite, and so you got to be careful here. And Broking just does just that, bombing the choke and just kind of denying him the space. And looks like we're gonna have a good old stalemate for a little bit here.
Yeah, we'll see Boar switching over to IT side, which definitely is not really kind of the most known angle here. He does get a headshot on Yite, just has to back up a little bit, but the heals are close in there. So no rotation coming in through sewer side from Velocity, so Feint going to be able to recover from that little poke.
Yeah, I mean, Velocity don't really have to do anything here. The pressure is just on Boar to hit a shot, and they've got mid right now, so there we go. Boar gets a soldier pick. This should trigger a push from Velocity here. They're probably going to walk their Sniper in Al-Qaeda here, I'm assuming. And Boar's taking a couple more shots. Not really. Oh, gets a headshot on Campy. They're definitely getting a lot of ground for free here. We're going to have Speedy jumping in, and Bear pops the Uber very early.
Happy Cool and Zayler both extremely banged up behind. They have to back up. If they had more health on them, and if that health pack on the IT side was available, then Feint maybe could have stayed in a little bit more with that. In the end, they're going to be pretty happy with this exchange, considering the whole situation started with a Sniper pick. And Broking is in. He goes down, but they do get a trade on Jarrett there, so Feint actually getting some forward pressure here. Soldiers bouncing around. Gonna bounce back both soldiers from Velocity in the sewer side. And Sky getting a little bit of pressure, but she's gonna have to back up. And Boar still on the Sniper here. Takes some damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, when they were pushing their, I mean, holding mid, Boar didn't really manage to connect with too much, and so he didn't really have a whole lot of impact on Sniper on mid, and that is probably what cost Velocity the fight there. But we're most likely going to have another stalemate, as Ubers are even. However, this time, Feint are going to be the one with mid.
Yeah, the defensive sniper definitely still a good option here on the second point. Now that it's known, and obviously now they do have the Uber charge, but they could have just spent the time waiting. They are going to lose Yite. So speaking of waiting, the Feint is the ones that are going to have to kind of pump the brakes a little bit. Velocity kind of wants to speed back up again, but Boar does take some damage. He's going to have to soak some heals again. Gets on a very nice shot though off of on Broking.
And that's what I'm saying, right? You give him the opportunity, he'll hit those shots. Looks like we'll have an Uber exchange here. Shamu just going in with Sky. Ubers are about even for both teams, slightly better for Feint. We've got a Soldier jumping in, both Soldiers jumping in for Velocity here. We get 2 picks. Sandblast and Bear going down. Speedy gets traded, but this is still very much in favor of Velocity. All they have to do is keep Sky alive here, and they should definitely secure this point.
Yeah, for a split second there, I think Beardactyl was pretty happy with his surf. He bounced off a rocket, went all the way over to Rock. Unfortunately, though, as soon as he probably felt that elation, he was crushed as Sky hit him with an arrow to put him out of his misery. So that was a big factor there. Early damage on Bear, able to get the kill.
Well, I actually didn't see the arrow, but that's definitely a very huge play coming out of Sky. They've got to have they're going to have a small Uber advantage here, about 20-25%. They're not building very... Well, now they're building, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to push on this. Process second is quite a big point, and a 20% ad is not really that much to push off of, especially when you've got a sniper. You don't really have all that much firepower, but it looks like they're setting up for an IT push here.
Yeah, Boar getting pressured a little bit. Broking, unfortunately, walks in a sewer, hoping to just grab that health back for free. He gets taken out easily. Shamu on the scout has forced to Feint back all the way to Shutter. They have not used their Uber charge here, though, at least not yet. Capture going down on the Spire, not able to complete it, though, and Velocity getting chased back. Got to put it in reverse. Happy Cool, no, I thought he was thinking about pushing through IT, but both him and Yite are going to choose not to. Doubling back to get the kill on Speedy. Boar now actually gets a snipe on Sandblast, so both scouts down for Feint. Yite gets taken out. We also have Broking bombing forward, acting more as just a distraction than anything, though, because Velocity going to take that capture for free, pretty much.
I mean, they did lose Sky, however, so that's kind of a big deal, because, I mean, Feint is going to have a pretty big Uber advantage. Broking gets taken down, he was behind, but he does manage to trade. This should turn into a push from Feint eventually. They have about a 40% Uber advantage here, so they should definitely be able to push out of this last, but it's by no means an easy task, considering that you've got Boar just sitting in sewers, just waiting for you to peek. No matter which door you go through against a sniper of this level, you have to pop through the door. And so Velocity, knowing that, can just afford to play far back and not lose anyone, and Feint is going to have to use. So it's going to be very difficult for them to do anything.
Yeah, it's still early in the match, but this is really where you find out what exactly this matchup is going to lead to. Can they push out with this easy Uber advantage, get the capture on too? They don't have to win this round, but just push out, get the capture on too. If they struggle to do that, then it just kind of seems like a matter of time before they get rolled all the way back. And indeed, they do execute that maneuver, at least proficiently. Velocity coming in through sewer, and Feint are able to get everybody back out, so they should be able to defend too a bit here. Speedy taking a lot of damage, but he has some cover, so it's an easy arrow. Sky gets some damage from Yite, has to pop the Uber charge, but looks like Feint's doing, well, I say that Yite goes down, but they were doing a good job of not really engaging this Uber charge. Bringing some pressure now. Sky has gotten dropped from Happy Cool. Happy Cool getting piped down now, but Shamu, Pharmacy down. More players going down for Velocity. Jarrett is still up fighting. Boar around somewhere as well. Al-Qaeda side. Scout in his face. Boar cannot hit the shot in time.
Yeah, that was not the best push from Velocity. They didn't really get much out of their Uber, and their team didn't really gain space, and so Sky was caught out, like, very forward. And on top of that, Feint has full Uber advantage here, so we'll definitely see a push from them. Looks like they're going to be opting to go sewers here and try to not use this Uber. I mean, they really shouldn't have to use, considering how big their advantage is, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and they're looking to get in here already. Bringing some players in through sewer. A bomb from Broking. Counter bomb incoming from Pharmacy. But he's going to get cleaned up pretty easily. The Uber charge has been popped off here, but are going to be able to get control of Spire. Velocity kind of look like they're gearing up for a counter push pretty quickly here. They do have 95%, so just about to get the charge here. Might take Shamu out through lower.
Yep, looks like they're going lower lobby with the Uber here. They're clear the 6. They don't pop, but a scout went behind them lobby. Has he been spotted? He's going to last. They're backcapping. Two of them on last here, and they've been spotted. They're defending this. This is good. However, the Uber on second, they went back. They haven't popped yet, actually. My bad. So they're pushing second with a 2-man advantage. Shamu goes down, actually, so a bit of a miscommunication.
Scout's going to last. Oh.
Good arrow by Sky right there.
Yeah, she's got 2 kills so far, and that was another clutch one. That one is going to stretch Velocity out enough that this cap is, well, actually pretty comfortable. Yite forgoes trying to bomb in, and Feint actually might have to be careful here on the mid.
Yep. Rakuso actually goes down an IT to Yite, so a bit of a misplay from him, but they should still be able to take this point here. They have Uber, and looks like actually they're trading left and right. Ubers are going to be traded here. Slightly better Uber from Feint. Jarrett needs to get flashed, and this is just a bit of a skirmish here in the choke. We've got a soldier behind Brooking jumping into Jarrett. Gets a couple rockets. Nothing too much going on though. They're just distracting. Looks like he's gonna die eventually. He gets Sky? That should not happen. That is very unfortunate for Velocity.
Yeah. They could have played that a little bit tighter with the rest of Feint kind of being aggressive there, but eventually the double-pronged pressure, the pincer attack, was too much for Velocity to hold on to. Yeah, lost Sky, lost some big results there. But Feint get that capture pretty comfortably. 2 more players up, that's Sky and Jarrett for Velocity, but it is 4v5 right now. Feint Gaming charging forward fiercely. Happy Cool takes some big damage. Yike goes down. Boar and Jarrett, though, for Velocity have gotten killed. Big bomb in from the side, but Speedy bumped away from the point. And Feint Gaming, they rolled that back from last.
Yeah, definitely very good play coming out of Feint Gaming there. I definitely think Brooking should have died a lot faster on second there, and he should not have been able to kill Sky, but good play from him, and looks like we're going to be going to this mid. I'm going to be Rakuso here, going for a bit of a fast rollout, just spamming the choke. Looks like we're going to see a bit of a left side mid coming out of Feint here. Brooking jumping on the slanted roof, spamming a little bit. They're going to be taking over the sewers. Speedy with a big bomb, kills 2, Zaylor and Bear going down, but Feint strike back with 3 kills, and it's an even number fight here.
Yeah, that was a huge bomb from Speedy. Sandblast, though, and Sandblast was the most banged up. He goes down, but Broking just expertly handled. Happy Cool running for his medic.
Yeah, these mids seem to be devolving very, very quickly. That was, I mean, that was a right side mid from Velocity and a left side from Feint, so they kind of met each other, and you know, it ended up in a large explosion for both teams, which lost 3 members almost instantly.
Yeah, Velocity end up with control of the point. Both medics just kind of rebuilding here. Bear will have kind of the slightest of advantages, enough to just make me paranoid to check, but no, he is not on Kritzkrieg on the Uber charge.
Yeah, this should end up in another stalemate here, most likely. Like, Bear does have slight ad. If he countered properly, it was about 15-20 ad. I don't think they built properly, so they might actually try to push on this, but Velocity have been doing a very, very good job of building, so if they do push on this, it would be a mistake. It looks like they're opting not to, though, so we're gonna have a stalemate here, expecting to see a sacrifice coming in from Rakuso, aka CVS Pharmacy, in the server here. Looks like he's just sitting by the pack right now, getting 300 HP. He's getting ready for the jump, and he's moving forward. He's thinking about it. He's hiding in the corner.
Heading to choke. We will probably see it at some point. He's inching further and further, but liking to play with our minds is also inching backwards. Speedy putting some pressure from Suicide. There's the big jump from Rakuso. Gets juggled thanks to the scout. Oh, cannot line up the second. You could just see him like clicking furiously in your mind. He got killed right before he was able to launch that rocket.
Sky got forced actually on mid. I didn't see, but it was a double counter sack from Feint. Both soldiers went into mid and forced Sky. So Velocity here are going to try to pressure a little bit, try to get the force from Bear, and Bear is going to use the Uber, but they're going to lose 3 members for this, and potentially a wipe, actually, so definitely not good for Velocity at all.
Yeah, that was an excellent play there by Feint, you know, somehow being able to get the Uber popped, but when that attack from Velocity didn't really do any damage, then that certainly makes plenty of sense. To just throw a couple players forward, them to use a useless Uber, and then yeah, they had a player disadvantage, but they have an Uber charge, and you know, just kind of almost the perfect amount of players with them to just keep everybody happy and everybody healed up throughout the entire Uber charge.
Definitely. We're gonna have a 30%. Oh no.
Oh wow, yeah,
Oh
that's
no.
right.
Looks like Brooking's gonna get a charge shot kill on Shamu, and that is very, very unfortunate timing because Bear is getting dangerously close to his Uber charge. However, Rakuso does have a sentry gun up, and there are stickies on the point, so this is possible to hold. We've got the Pyro coming out of Bor as well. The Uber popped in from Bear. Pyro just reflecting, protecting the sentry, and sentry finally goes down, but so does the Uber.
Yeah, sort of reflecting. He played sniper in Highlander, not Pyro.
True.
Not Pyro. Yeah, unfortunately, I really enjoy seeing it. I like to see the Pyro there, trying to help that gun out. You know, that certainly in the end sort of feels like two useless classes, which is unfortunate. They were not able to hold that defense all that great. Feint very well executed. Velocity won that last mid. This mid kind of a slow start again. Broking jumping forward actually ends up jumping around. Yite coming in, he gets finished off, but Feint have picked up 2 frags. Jarrett and Rakuso now speedy down as well for Velocity, so no soldiers. The scouts are fighting. One has one away though. Bor now running away with Sky. Actually, yeah, still kind of hanging in there, but they got a lot to deal with. They do get the kill on Sandblast. They have conceded the point.
Yeah, I mean,
not conceded, maybe not the right term. They're still fighting here.
This is definitely winnable for Velocity here. They've got 2 scouts. However, the respawn does come in for Feint, and they're just going to opt to back out, which is definitely the safe play. However, you know, they got to start thinking about, oh no. Rakuso goes down on the flank here, and this is going to trigger a push most likely from Feint, as they're just looking to get healed up here. Not really doing too much. Grouping up with the choke. I think they might opt for a sack here. Not too sure. Looks like Broking jumps in, a bit of a distraction play. As Yite finally goes for the sack, doesn't manage to land a rocket on Sky, and that's going to be both soldiers down for Feint here.
Yeah, not quite the best of situations for them. Jarrett's looking for some kind of fatter heals before they start pushing in. We are going to see the Uber charge used, though, on the scout here. And the counter Uber comes out on Campy, and Sandblast doing some body blocking. Clockwork-esque. I love it. The medic Sky locked in the choke there in Feint. Oh
my god. Rakuso bombs in and salvages that round for his team, getting 2 picks, including the medic. So, you know, if they didn't get Bear there, that could have been disastrous and meant another round down for Velocity, but Rakuso saves the round. That Uber exchange was not ideal. They kind of got forced very early, Velocity that is, and so their Uber was very...
Okay, good. Yeah,
like we've got a bit of a fighting on second here.
Yeah, Happy Cool just barely stayed on there long enough. Really wanted to make sure that they got that capture. I think that did give him a bit of forward spawns. Happy Cool himself will just be respawning about 5 seconds. He's totally fine with that.
Yep. It's not really a huge deal regardless of whether he dies or not there, or gets the cap really. Either one is fine. It's going to be another stalemate here. No off classes on either side. I wouldn't be that surprised if... Feint opted just to sack again. I don't think that Bor is going to be going sniper here, not on defense. And so I think we're going to see the same thing that happened last time, which is going to be Broking jump, like doing a fake bomb through to choke, and then Yite going for the real thing on Sky. We'll see if it works out a little bit better this time, because last time they lost both soldiers and didn't get the force.
Yeah, it was did not come off just quite as well. See what they can do here.
Looks like Broken going for the fake bomb, just as I called,
same.
and
Yite
getting in there.
Nope. Yite stays alive longer, and I did like the kind of jump back across from Broking.
Oh no.
They somehow pick up some frags, though, getting both Shamu and Rakuso. So one of those, like, I'm not quite sure how that failed so well, right?
Yeah, I'm not. Well, Shamu died to a sticky trap, so that was very unfortunate. I'm not sure how Rakuso dies. Sky eats a shard shot.
IT, yeah.
Looks like we're going to see an Uber trade here.
Ooh.
Uber's about even slightly better here for Feint, but not too much. Sky might be caught out yet again. Yep, she's very forward, and she's going to go down instantly. Whereas Bear stays alive. So all Feint need to do here is play with their medic, and eventually they should win this fight. However, it is even numbers, and looks like they're just going to opt to back out and play with their heals, which is definitely the smart play here.
Yeah, definitely, you know, the smart on paper play. I feel, though, that the damage that Yite just put in on them, if they were poking their head out of sewer, that was, like, easy cleanup city.
For sure.
It's obviously easy to say as a spectator. Something I've been, you know, harping about for the last, like, 2 years is, you know, sometimes when it comes to esports, even just playing in pub games, if you're, or maybe even especially playing in pub games, your teammates are going for some crazy stuff. If you don't support them, it's just not going to work. So, yeah,
Definitely.
you know, trying to make something happen. You know, TF2 is a different game than a lot of games. Sometimes you do just have to throw those solo players in that you just know it's not going to work. But if the team was maybe believed in it more, they could have made it happen. They've played it safe, though. Now they have an overcharge advantage here. They're just going to use it, charging Zayler forward into the shutter area. And they do clear up second, but and they're going to have an overcharge coming their way shortly here.
Yep, they didn't get anything with that Uber other than second, which, you know, is fine. However, Velocity are going to be counter pushing here. Pop the Uber and bats, get Yite. They're on second now, looking to get more. Bear goes down as well, so huge pick by Speedy. Running the shotgun, actually, and Bora gets broken as well. So as long as they play with Sky here, this should be fine here. Sky cannot die, though, because that would be disastrous, considering there are only 2 players up for Feint. And looks like they're going to get cleaned up here. Only Campy remaining, I believe, and they got respawners. Yep.
Yeah, that felt sort of uncharacteristically bad from Feint, to be blunt and not the most constructive. Just could have gone a little bit better from them there, a little disassembled. They're starting to recover here, though.
Yeah, Shamu goes down to the sticky
frag.
trap. Unfortunate. It happened a couple times this match already. I can count at least 3 or 4 times where Shamu has died to sticky traps, and so definitely very good sticky trap placement from Zayler. As Feint are down 2, however, Velocity are going to push into mid here, getting for free, not taking too much damage, just kind of inching forward. They have to be careful because Feint does get forward spawns here, but with the positioning, they should be okay.
Yeah, good movement from Velocity. They're going to take control here, and actually, with Boar on Scout, see them push forward here with the standard class lineup. See how that goes.
Yep. Zayler's actually got another sneaky sticky trap on the edge of the sewer. It's very, very sneaky, but if they do the sniper push on the side sewer, someone's going to die to that, most likely. So hopefully Shamu does not wander there, because he seems to kind of attract those sticky traps right now.
Yeah, that's a nice trap. I like that.
Yep, we're gonna have a bit of a stalemate here. Looks like Speedy trying to pressure IT on the
Shamu on Spy.
Ooh, yeah, this does happen. This team does do that. The Shamu Spy does tend to happen. It is a thing that they are kind of known for.
Oh my God!
Oh, wow! Does not manage to get Bear.
Yeah, had the opportunity, but unfortunately, backs turned in the wrong direction at the wrong time, and Shamu taken out. So. That leaves the heavy weapons guy remaining. We could hit for the cycle if we get somebody to whip out the heavy weapons guy.
Well, I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing it in this situation, but perhaps on a last hold. It's not that uncommon on this map. Shamu going to be opting to respawn on the scout, not holding the shutter door open for Boar, which is something that I thought they might do, so he can go sniper, but does not look like they're going to opt for that. I'm assuming we're just going to see a sack here from Rakuso. Jumps in, looks for the medic, doesn't find him. Where is Bear? He was actually near IT, and so that's why Rakuso didn't find him. Very heads-up play by Bear. They're not even being there for the sack.
Huge bomb by Rakuso. I know that I cannot jump like that. So about what I can say. Yite comes in, though. He as well cannot quite find success as that roamer. And we're kind of holding even again then.
Yep. Looks like that's kind of how this match has been going. It's either a stalemate or a team really steamrolls quite fast. But nothing really happening. Interesting decision, though. Something worth pointing out while we're stalemating is Speedy is actually on shotgun. As Rakuso actually bombs in and gets denied, it's going to be a bit of a reset. But yeah, Speedy is opting to run the shotgun, which is very, very uncommon on this map for soldiers, because this tends to be a very jump-oriented map, and so most soldiers will opt to run gunboats. But, you know, I can't really say why Speedy is running the shotgun, but he is. And so Rakuso goes for another one, fails again, resets. Looks like that's... Eventually he'll get it, you know?
I'm being informed by Twitch chat that there was some heavy weapons guy already. So
Really? Oh.
yeah, on the push of the last round. So we have hit for the cycle already. Excuse me.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Looks like Velocity lost 2 players in the IT department. And looks like Brooking's going to be pressuring IT as well as Bear through choke. Ubers are going to be exchanged. Slightly better Uber for Velocity. However, they are at a numbers disadvantage right now. Speedy moving forward, perhaps a little bit too aggressively. Looks like he's going to be dying here without accomplishing much. I'm not sure I can agree with that decision here, but Brooking should be going down on mid.
Wow, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, Sky getting caught there a little bit. Not necessarily entirely her fault, as the team was very disconnected, so it was very hard for her.
Yeah, she was surfing and she just barely missed the railing. And basically the demo man watched her and was like, oh, well, that's an easy sticky, and just like dropped one right there. And then the scout finished off after the juggle. Speaking of juggles, well, Speedy does kind of just barely inch away. Got juggled a little bit. Everybody from Velocity is going to have to back spawn, excuse me. And Feint could maybe get a 3rd round here.
Yeah, this is definitely a huge Uber advantage for Feint here. They've got a 60% Uber advantage. And they're going to be going for the last push here. Shamu on the engineer. Looks like Velocity is going to be opting to keep both soldiers on their class as Bear moves into the lobby with Sandblast and Campy. Going to pop through the 4-door, going right side. Campy jumps in, goes for the sentry, gets it, sneaking the right shutter. No picks for either team yet, and no cap time either.
Yeah, good footsie on the point, though. Got the stickies popped while able to back off as the scout. They've lost a few players now. Feint are trying to look into re-engaging here, but are going to have to back up in the end. Broking does get an arrow to get back up to full health. And Feint establishing themselves here at the Spire.
Yep, looks like Velocity going to have the Uber advantage here. Looking like they want to push out, but they're not too confident. They're kind of taking their time, and this could really go against them. Shamu going through the 1 door here. Nothing happening. Both soldiers bombing into the shutter, forcing Sky. These guys should both die, though. One of them goes down, and the other one goes down as well. However, this is a huge Uber advantage for Feint.
We do have Feint going for the spy cap. Happy Cool on the point. Can anybody stop it on the second? No, they can't!
That's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Happy Cool saw Jarrett in the lobby area, was behind him, was thinking about the stab, and then was like, nah, moved to the point, saw no stickies on the point, gets the capture.
Yeah, a solid 3 OF for Feint Gaming. Very strong showing from them so far, and perhaps, you could say that you could expect more out of Velocity here. I mean, I definitely know they've got more in them, and they're more of a second half team, so I wouldn't be that surprised if they put on a better showing, but they definitely need to improve their gameplay right now if they want to win this match. It's still possible, but it's not going to be easy. However, they've definitely done it in the past. Velocity has known many comebacks in the past, and so this match is not over yet. Let's take a look at the statistics here.
Yeah, I'm curious what the statistics might tell us as well.
Actually say that the teams were very, 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 very neck and neck. Like, in terms of damage, it's a basically non-significant difference. It's about not even 1,000 damage difference.
Yeah.
It's like a 700 damage difference and a 2 kill difference on in favor of Feint Gaming. So Feint Gaming have 2 more kills and 700 more damage. That is by no means a 3-round difference in terms of statistics here. So I think Velocity here definitely have the DM to go up against Feint, but they're kind of lacking the cohesion in the transitions. What I'm seeing a lot is Sky tends to be not necessarily just her, but the teams tend to be disconnected after Ubers, and there's also often someone behind them.
Yeah, that would match up with some of these stats. I mean, Sky has died 4 more times than Beardactyl, resulting in 3 less Uber charges as well. Looking at some of the other, just kind of interesting points on frag and death distribution. Also, Campy on aka Zaylor has died 5 times compared to Jarrett's 7. So that perhaps also kind of indicative of kind of just some of the trends and where these deaths are located. Well, even if the total number is pretty close. Jarrett and Sky dying significantly more than Campy and Beardactyl.
I think what's definitely worthy to note here is that Yite and Brooking combined have a combined 38 deaths compared to the 31 combined of the Velocity Soldiers. And normally you'd look at those stat lines and you'll be like, Soldiers have more deaths, so Feint is losing, but they're winning 3-0. And so I think what's happening here is, well, from what I'm seeing, a lot of the Feint Soldiers are going behind after these Uber exchanges, just creating a lot of space for their team. And even though they're dying a lot, maybe not maybe feeding a little bit more, they're creating a lot of space and chaos for the Velocity team, and that's definitely working in Feint's favor.
Yeah, that's definitely an important aspect. When Feint has been on the back foot, these opportunities where perhaps Velocity can get some momentum going, start charging down the points, as it were. But just having those Feint Soldiers kind of drag them back and kind of remind them, hey, you got to deal with us. Hey, we're behind you, and we're just going to kill you from behind when you're not paying attention. That definitely makes a big impact.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely recall multiple times where it was just broken behind in a pinch kind of scenario, and that caused Sky to die or someone else to die. And definitely that's probably the difference in terms of Ubers, because if you look at most of the other stats, it's quite similar, other than the medic stat. And I wouldn't say that's... Oh, are we already live?
Yes, we are indeed. Boar kind of trying to make it across the containers. He falls down. Yite has gone down early, but he did trade with Jarrett. There goes Broking as well. Feint, well, lose another one. They were fairly set up by the rock. They're having to back up now. Campy takes an arrow. Nice arrow heal. Keeps him happy. But Velocity do get the capture there.
Yep. Looks like it's going to be perhaps a push from Velocity here, as Feint just got their respawns now, but I doubt Velocity are going to commit to this. They're just peeking, seeing if someone's overextended, and of course no one from Feint is. They know better than that, and we're just going to have another stalemate here. Rakuso jumping in, going for the wall jump, tries to land on Bear, gets the first rocket, doesn't manage to get the second, he dies.
Yeah, Bear's just going to be able to pick up that bottle and regen the rest of the way, so it's like nothing ever happened, except for Rakuso being dead. We had a jump attempted by, I think that was Broking. Yep. He didn't quite go anywhere, though.
Yeah, Yite going IT and just getting killed by Speedy. So that was the counter sacrifice coming out of Yite. And we're going to have another stalemate, probably. Expecting another sacrifice. Speedy's still on the shotgun here. Can't say he's necessarily been underperforming, so it's probably working out for him. Just a unique choice. And as Rakuso looking to set up for the jump here, going for the tries to go for the triple jump, doesn't quite manage to do it. He'll go for another try.
Yeah, gotta set it up right. There we go. Okay. He comes in. Oh, good damage! Oh, gets the drop.
Rakuso. Oh no, Sky drops as well. What? What happened?
Back to back. Jeez, man.
Wow.
Must be contagious. We caught the first drop on stream, not the second. Feint, though, looking to capitalize regardless of whatever the medics are up to. As Speedy, the only player up for Velocity. And Feint going to capture the middle point here. I'm probably not going to be able to also
really
get
sneaky
second,
play here. He's hiding behind the fence on second here. If Velocity... Okay, they're not going forward, but if they don't spot him, he could have killed the medic if they went forward. He's actually still hiding. They don't know. This could be huge. I'm going to keep my cam on Yite here because if they don't spot him, he could easily kill Sky here. It looks like he's going to be bombing forward, and Shambu's got his sights on him, and he gets cleaned up by Jarrett. As Broking is also in. It looks like in danger, but stays alive for now. Nothing really happening. Feint trying to pressure forward, not getting any frags and taking a lot of damage as Broking goes down, as well as Rakuso, still in favor of Velocity here.
Broking, again, doing a great job of being really elusive, just kind of throwing rockets out from all sorts of directions, making them think about where the bad guys are. But he has gone down. Team's pushing forward. Velocity controlling the containers here. Yite on the ground. Might jump up shortly here. There we go. As the other soldier comes in as well. Broking ends up taking a point blank rocket from Speedy as he gets bounced around. Feint, though, ends up cleaning up Speedy. Shamu has been down as well. So Feint still feeling pretty good about this. Wanting to come through choke with an uber charge here. Bear taking a bit of spam. The bomb comes in as well from Rakuso. Has to use it. Yite has gone down. Sandblast going backwards instead of in the sky, but that's because Sky has used the uber charge. And both mechs have now cycled.
I see what you did there. Well, looks like we've got another stalemate in our hands here. I'm pretty sure, unless Feint try to push on this very slight numbers advantage for a couple seconds, but I don't think they will, since their soldier has to roll out himself. And no off classes coming out from either team. Both teams just building the Uber. I'm assuming once Feint gets the Uber, they're going to opt to do a stack, and I'm assuming they're going to do the same thing they've done every other time, which is Broking do a fake bomb, and Yite commits for the medic.
Yeah, definitely a good possibility. I mean, slipping somebody in through IT is a different possibility, but that's pretty well locked down, pretty easy to lock down. As Rakuso just kind of keeping an eye on that, and Happy Cool being like, oh yeah, clearly they have this cover, so he backs up.
Yep, looks like nothing really happening right now. Broking just sitting by IT. I think they might try to rush IT. Yep, they're definitely walking in forward in IT with their heals. Rakuso forced to back up here. He can't fight this. Broking takes upper IT. Nothing really accomplished so far. I think it was just a distraction play for the Yite bomb, and it was.
Yeah, and as he goes down, they're going to back it up. We'll see if Velocity can get kind of counterplay here. Speedy does get some penetration into the group of Feint Gaming, but not able to get a frag alongside that.
It's actually quite a late death for Speedy here. He's going to be dead for a good, 5-6 seconds while Yite is still alive. So Feint definitely trying to pressure off of this here. Looks like we've got Sandblast walking in. Sewer's pressuring a little bit, but they haven't really managed to get anything, and now Speedy's respawned, so it's probably just going to turn into a stalemate again. And I think Feint realized that they're up 3-0 right now. They realize they're up 3-0, and all they have to do is play the clock. They don't have to do anything right now.
Yeah, they're in a great position here right now. Definitely, time has been ticking away. They don't have to worry. Can just play this setup defensive game.
Yep.
Pretty easily off class. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. I was just gonna say that they're definitely gonna still go for sacrifices because it's a kind of a low risk play, I think. So they're gonna keep sending in a soldier until there's something happens. And yep, looks like Yite's going in, doesn't really get anything done, and now it's up to Velocity to do something.
Yeah, Feint was gearing in Happy Cool to maybe come in from the side there as well. He ended up not really getting any penetration. Does get the kill on Rakuso, as Rakuso was trying to jump through IT. So 6 minutes on the stalemate timer here.
It's possible that it would be a round reset, but I highly doubt it. I think when it gets close to round reset, well, either team is going to try to do something. If they get close to round reset, then Feint might as well push.
Oh yeah.
But until then, I think we're just going to keep seeing similar things. Looks like Yite's pushing forward in IT here. They're taking IT control. Scouts rushing Rakuso. Rakuso also on the shotgun. Interestingly enough, Broking on the battlements. Looks like it's an even trade so far. Broking going behind a lobby, though, undealt with. Shamu actually opting to chase him here. Does he win this fight?
Yeah.
And he does with 3 HP.
Oh, they take some big damage, and that's going to force Feint to back up. That was definitely surprising that they weren't able to really kind of capitalize on that territory that they'd taken, as Camping never really came through choke, not able to get any frags. And right now, only 3 players for Feint in the middle of the midpoint here. Definitely going to have to be forced there. Trying to get the force from Sky as well, but Sandblast not having. Oh, okay, there it is. Finally.
Dang.
Yeah, it took him a little bit to actually get the damage.
Yeah, that was actually... So it was a very, very good play from Velocity until Sky got forced. If Sky managed to get the Uber there, they would have been able to repush with full Uber ad, but now Yite goes down. Even numbers for both teams here. We're going to have a bit of a skirmish here on the second point, but Feint realizes this is not in their favor and smartly backs up. However, the Ubers are even, so we're still in a stalemate scenario and only 4 minutes left on the round timer.
Yeah, definitely not the most common thing you see in TF2, but you never know. There's always wacky things going on in this eSports. Baradactyl does have a pretty good advantage, though. He's worked up to it, so if they really kind of charge forward with this, they definitely could find some work.
Yeah, it was more of a
be
10% advantage at first, so they're actually going off of this, maybe? I don't know, I think it's sort of, yeah, they're setting a sack. They don't think this is, wait, are they? Yep, looks like Yite bombing in for the sack, gets the first rocket on Sky, doesn't manage to connect the second, and gets cleaned up. Feint walking forward, but not really committing, just going for the sack play, and now the round reset is becoming a very real possibility.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yite respawning not too long though. Velocity kind of stuffed out here.
Yep. No off classes still from Feint. I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. I thought at this point Feint, you know, they might pull out like a sniper, a spy, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Phelps does go spy, so I wouldn't have been that surprised, but they just opt to do the classic stacks. Looks like they're walking in Al-Qaeda with the heals right now. Sandblast moving forward. They haven't popped yet. They popped very early. Velocity should have a much better Uber, but Shambu gets dropped. That's a huge mistake from Velocity here, but they trade with Yite, so it's not the end of the world. However, being down a scout on process is kind of a huge deal.
Again, exchanges going down in the choke here, but not a whole lot happening. It's starting to get a little bit crazier there. There goes Zayler. He's got taken down. Bora's gone down as well, though. This is Rakuso. Feint looking like they're maybe getting the upper hand here. Sky's taking a bunch of damage. Finished off from the side by Sandblast. Still big frags going out here. It does look like Feint finally going to take control here. Looks like we will not have the reset. Feint Gaming will get the capture on Spire.
Yeah, this is going to be another huge Uber advantage here for Feint. A very difficult situation for Velocity to be in. They really just couldn't drop Shamu on that second point there. That kind of cost them the fight. But it does happen. It was very unfortunate. He got stuck on the little ramp. Looks like Feint opting to move into lobby with this Uber. I'm assuming they're gonna go 4-door with Sandblast and Campy, as they did before. Campy gets a sentry. Sandblast tries to get cap time, and no kills for either team as the soldiers are bombing in. Bear goes down to Jarrett, but Speedy and Rakuso both go down, and it's just an even numbers fight right now. Could be anyone's game. Jarrett hits some 9-5s, and the Feint gamers are getting cleaned up rather quickly.
Oh, but Zayler 1v4. Can he? Yeah, and I didn't think so.
Yeah, if he had, one more pipe, they all could have died. You never know.
Yeah, they actually were pretty well grouped up there, so there was a bit of a possibility.
Yeah.
Get that splash damage, get a 2K, and then get another splash damage pipe for another 2K.
Phelps sniper here in forward. Misses the shot, however, so now they know he's in forward, and he's going to get locked down most likely. Boar kills Yite, so this should be the midpoint here for Velocity for free, and they still have the Uber advantage.
Okay. Velocity maybe starting to turn things around here. You always got to watch out, when you think things are a done deal, you just start sitting on your laurels. You're like, we're so good with this 3-0 lead. And we'll see. TF2 could go quick. Velocity want to speed things up here.
Yep, looks like they get a kill with the Uber here. Broken goes down, but they didn't really get any important picks. It was only a soldier. And now Feint has full Uber themselves, and they're going to be looking to push. Looks like they opt to go lower lobby here.
Yeah, interesting.
Yep, the stickies get dead. No one dies. Boar dies to potentially a sticky trap. Both Velocity soldiers behind in lobby, and they both get killed very quickly. Not a great play from Velocity, as they lost everyone, didn't get the force or any kills really.
Yes, sort of worked out pretty well for Feint, but was a little edgy there for a second there. It was kind of bare. Wasn't really totally connected with the scout as they were pushing out, and they kind of had to awkwardly retreat. But thankfully, yeah, the other people weren't able to capitalize on that.
Yep.
Velocity getting pushed back again.
Sky closing onto the Uber. They're at 89%, and they managed to survive the Uber on second when Speedy kills Zayler on mid. I'm not really sure how that happened. And now he's fighting Yite. Finally goes down. The Velocity Uber coming through on second gets broken, and Bear goes down. Now all they have to do is keep Sky alive. Both Feint players hiding in sewers right now. Rakusa peeks it, kills one. Do they know about the other? They do. Shamu takes him down with the help of Rakusa.
Velocity trying to take this game the distance at least. Hopefully they get some rounds on the board though for sure. Gonna capture that middle point, no problem.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be large Uber advantage for Velocity here. Once again, they're in a good position here to just clear the second point. I don't know where they're going to opt to go. It looks like Shamu's heading into the sewers right now. And usually when you go sewers, it means you don't necessarily want to use here. So they're probably trying to take this for free. Walking forward. Faint, not looking to give this up, though. Still spamming strong. Can't be... Oh. Yep, can't be watching the sneaky trap. And that was the trap we talked about earlier. Drop Sky. Very, very unfortunate for Velocity. As Bear survives on 4 HP, actually. So... this is not looking too good for Velocity. Bear's still up with 26 HP. Nobody's forcing him in Shutter, though. So, I'm assuming Faint are just going to play the slow here, try to keep their mid alive, and push mid with their huge Uber out. As Shamu is still behind here. This could... wait, is there 2 players behind, or is it just Shamu?
No, there's 2 players behind. Bor is behind them as well on the Shutter side. But also Rakuso, or sorry, not Rakuso, Broking was fighting on mid, so he was kind of being obnoxious as well. Bor is starting to get around a little bit more undetected. Actually, okay, there, Yaya has seen him, but now there's 2 players on Spire. Oh, okay, big numbers on mid. I think they're going to be able to get that capture anyways.
Oh, Rakuso stops mid. Oh, this could be happening.
Wow.
Oh, this is so close.
Oh, that was so close.
Very good attempt for Velocity, but very risky play. I guess since they're down 3 rounds, they have to try more risky maneuvers, and that one did not work out for them, as Faint perhaps looking to just roll into last here. So they're going to be going right side. Zaylor tries to clear the sentry, gets them, sticking the right shutter, gets good damage on the soldiers. No kills for either team yet. Speedy goes down. Rakuso should be going down momentarily. As actually, kills are going both ways here. No clear victory. And Faint opts to back out, I believe. Yep, Faint backs out, looks to just build their Uber, get the full Uber advantage, and then push back with their respawns.
Yeah, their scouts should be up pretty quickly here, and then Broking as well. Probably will be able to just kind of skip his way back forward, so it won't take too long. And we actually have the double off class again. Spy on by Bor and Engineer from Rakuso. I don't know if the spy's gonna... okay, no, never mind. He was just checking things out, so he's on the sniper now. Trying to find him in spawn. Okay, yeah, and he's forced back to scout already.
Yeah,
the push.
Looks like this is a bit of a...
yeah,
a bit of a bad push from Faint. They didn't really get anything with their Uber at all. The only person that died was Speedy, and he died after the Uber. However, looks like they're pushing second here quite convincingly with free Uber advantage. Shamu tries to chase into mid, but opts not to, looking to kill Broking instead. Not managing to... oh, nope, he does finish the kill. So, very good pick there, and with that soldier down, they should be able to go into mid without having to pop here, as there's not going to be a ton of spam coming out of Faint.
Yeah, on our broadcast camera, our time is under 13 minutes left on the clock here. I don't have an actual clock myself running, but just to show that we are starting to get there, and they are gonna need to start like running some rounds off.
Yeah,
the process can have some fast rounds, as unbelievable as that might sound right now. As this one round in particular has lasted us 15 minutes at least, but sometimes this game can go pretty quick.
This is really not... oh, never mind. Speedy kills Yite, so this could be okay. However, Shamu goes down, and this is not looking... wait, I'm not really sure. Speedy did a lot of damage on the flank, but still not looking too good for Velocity as they're down 3 players.
Yeah, it was a little bit better for Velocity, a little bit better looking for a split second there. Now they're coming under pressure once again, as Faint starting to charge forward here. They got some respawns coming as well, so this push is really just 4 players, but they've understand their local superiority. Get a kill on Jarrett, which certainly hurts the damage output. Both soldiers bombing in and dying.
Wow.
So Faint, I mean, they get it done, but that's kind of funny when you're like, this team's fighting 4, and then now Velocity's streaming all 6 in, and then just the 2 players coming back from reinforcements.
Speedy
just like
might die. Yeah, I mean, that was very good play from the Velocity Scouts, just cleaning up the soldiers. However, they did not manage to win the overall fight. And, you know, like you said earlier, the clock was at 13 minutes. Now I'm assuming it's going to be around 11 minutes, and Velocity is on their last. Feint here are probably in the dream situation, up 3 rounds, attacking the enemy last. This is... I don't think Feint is the type of team to park the bus, but I don't think they're going to take any unnecessary risks here, and they're just going to do standard sacks.
I would say they sort of parked the bus at the beginning of this half.
True.
You know,
I think I mean, they kept sacking. They weren't just like
yeah,
holding.
it wasn't completely passive, but they were content to slow motion it.
For sure. Which is understandable. I mean, you're playing for the win.
Exactly. Yeah. We do have Rakuso behind as a spy. He was pretty far back there for quite a while. He's going to charge out here, and he is getting into good position. Does get the stab!
Oh my.
There we go.
2 players do go down for Velocity, Rakuso and Speedy both going down, but definitely worth it, man. Huge play by Rakuso, coming in clutch for his team, getting a drop onto Bear, and I think we've had a decent amount of medic drops this match. We're at like 4 or 5 at least combined. And
yeah, I think so.
Velocity should push though.
Yeah. That's one of those things, though. Yeah, that's quite a good stab, but also just like doesn't really slow down the train too much. With the clock ticking away, impetus is on them. They have to get out here and get some captures. And the way that Feint is defending this, and we talked about like kind of the way that the soldiers are being used as well, really just kind of made it so awkward that Velocity didn't really want to commit to this because they don't want to waste this Uber charge. But it's just been so awkward. It's just been such a really weird, slow push out from him. You would have expected that to go a whole lot faster there.
Yeah, actually, something interesting to note is Rakuso right now is also on the shotgun, so perhaps it's because this game has been kind of slow. Oh my god, Speedy just finds the stickies, however Campy is not watching, and we've got Happy Cool here on Sniper on mid. So we're going to have another stalemate, unfortunately. However, at this point, it's getting to the point where Velocity definitely feels the pressure, and they feel like they have to do something here.
Yeah, and usually, I mean, across the board, I say that, the fastest pace to think of is kind of 3 minutes a round. You can get 2-minute rounds, but just kind of with all the incidentals, it's tough to really plan on that. And Velocity are starting to feel that as now 9 minutes left on the clock. They lose Speedy as this Uber just really doesn't come together. Sandblast, Uber Charge just going to be able to run it back. He doesn't get credit for the kill. Yike gets a kill on Sky. Broking also, great flank coming around the IT balcony. Spamming rockets actually towards spawn where nobody was. Gets a pretty decent shot on Jarrett and our scout Boar here. Slipping into last. Is going to be able to clean up Broking. So I don't think last is going to drop immediately here. But good run in from Feint to take that second point.
Yep, and now Velocity just opting to try to push this right away. Boar gets taken down very fast, so it's quite unfortunate. Velocity still have to try to do this. Speedy goes down, Rakuso goes down, and this is most likely going to be the round for Feint, unless they really mess up in a big way. Shamu, however, gets a pick, so perhaps Shamu is a hero Velocity needs. Going for Broken here. Oh, is he going to get him? He's very hurt. He's doing a lot of damage. Shamu definitely coming in clutch right now. However, Zaylor takes down 2 people with a pipe, and then a 3rd one with a sticky, and kind of denies Velocity their hope of winning that round.
Yeah, so 4-0. Good solid charge in there for Feint Gaming.
7:49 remaining.
7:49.
This is even at a 2-minute pace. This is very, very difficult. Velocity has to pull some 130 rounds here, and that's to take it into golden cap.
Yeah, we don't see the polite GGs out in ESEA, even if it's the most dire situation. So Velocity is just going to be fighting this out viciously. They do keep Sky up, but she's at half health. NIT actually Yike coming around for the flank. She is not going to see a company coming, but hopefully, yeah, it does duck out the other direction. Yike is like, I just want to hang out. But,
yeah,
Sky runs.
The difficult thing at this point in the game is that every time you back up, you know that you're losing the game. Like, at this point, whenever they, like, at that mid, they really didn't want to back up even though they were down people, because they know if they back up, they can't win the match anymore. And right now, it's very, like, it's pretty much near impossible for them to win this match, because all Feint have to do is force them early. Like, they have to try to push here. So all Feint have to do is force them early when they walk through the choke, and they're just going to have a better Uber, and then there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, just about. It's definitely going to be a kind of clinical finish here. Feint obviously are hoping for a 5-0 versus a 4-0. They'll be happy either way. They do end up with a pretty decent exchange here, able to get all their players out and heal back up. We'll see how this exchange afterwards goes. But Zaylor does go down. Boar is who they were able to exchange for. Sandblast now though follows Boar in a death, waiting for the spawn timer. A lot going down for Feint though.
Yeah, Zaylor calling the GG in chat, and I'm gonna have to agree with him on this one. I don't think there's any way Velocity are winning this match, but we can still watch for the entertainment. Bear, the Uber advantage here. Looks like Speedy and Garrett are gonna just zone him out. Velocity should be able to get this mid cap here, but Feint are gonna be pushing back in with the heals. Huge bomb coming in for Broking. Not too much happening. Broking taking down Speedy. Are going to go down himself. Even numbers right now for both teams. As Rakuso here looking to bomb in. Sandblast takes down Boar. And Feint almost have the Uber charge here. So Velocity have to be very careful, but they can't really pack up because, well, I guess at this point they're just playing for the stats.
Right? Gotta play for something.
You can't back up. You know, you got to hold your ground. And I mean, they do just that. It looks like Shambu speaking to Choki, saying, I want to take this 1v1. You don't deserve Sandblast. And he's not winning that. And that's actually not Sandblast. Yeah, Velocity just going down here. I think this match is, unfortunately, very over for Velocity. Maybe they can get around if they get a good mid or something. Well, they can't get a mid anymore, but...
Yeah, I appreciate the attempts to pretty it up, but it certainly is dire here for Velocity Gaming, as Jarrett getting kind of pushed back here, and Feint coming in through Shutter side. They actually get pushed back. Yite though getting a pick off on Sky there, so again,
I think,
unfortunately she's going to get picked off here. Oh, look at this flank coming in from Feint.
This is
Velocity,
an uber charged flank with their entire team here.
Velocity maybe giving it up on it. Maybe they were sort of aware of that. That was a fantastic capture.
I believe Velocity knew that was going to happen, and they just wanted it to be over at that point, because, you know, just playing the match out when you know you lost, it's a little bit depressing, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just want it to end at that point, and think about what went wrong and talk about it, and this is by no means the end of the playoffs race for Velocity, with Swift dying. Like I said, it leaves 2 playoff spots up for grabs, and so Feint, you know, with a very dominant performance here, kind of saying that they deserve their playoff spot. And Velocity, I mean, you know, they've still got to prove themselves. They've had good showings throughout the season. I mean, They had a 3-5 against Furio Black, so I'm a little bit surprised by this result. I was expecting a much closer match, but very strong performance by Feint, and perhaps a little bit lacking from Velocity.
Yeah, it's a tough one to pinpoint exactly. I mean, I sort of felt like the soldiers of Velocity could have done more. You know, Boar and Shamu had good frags for the teams as well, but you know, you compare their kind of 32 each, with 44 from Sandblast and 35 from Happy Cool, and then 30 from Yida as well. And looking at the damage numbers as well, you know, the damage itself drifted out a little bit more. The frags definitely drifted out a lot more, in favor of Feint Gaming, which is kind of surprising, but you know, shows the trend. Even if Feint Gaming weren't able to get the rounds, they were just kind of crushing Velocity this game, which kind of Velocity just kind of barely hanging in there, extending this game as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very long 5-0. You don't often see the 55 minutes 5-0s, you know?
No.
Usually if it's a 5-0, it's going to be like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. It's going to be a quick game, but you know, Velocity are definitely not completely outmatched by this team. Like, they're in terms of DM at least, or like fighting ability. When the fights got scrappy, you know, Velocity definitely stood a chance. So I wouldn't count them out just yet. I think, I mean, they still have another match to play against them later in the season, and you know, hopefully Velocity analyzes what went wrong in this match and kind of applies it, and perhaps can put up a better fight. But that was definitely a very strong showing from Feint, considering that they had just picked up a new pocket as well.
Yeah, and we'll see what Velocity could do against this team in the future, or you know, as the rest of the season goes on. I definitely feel like it was one of those matchups where you know, I would have preferred to see it over 3 maps versus just 55 minutes on the same map. 20 minutes on 3 different maps would have been fantastic. Just to see, because it was one of those games where like it was a 5-0. It was after Feint. I was maybe talking a little bit of hyperbolic caster action, talking about, oh, Feint is pushed back to their last. They're pushing out. This, we'll see how they respond as a team. This is really defines how the match goes. Their backs were up against the wall. They pushed out at last, and then they just rolled Velocity all the way back. And then after that, it was one of those circumstances where this is a TF2 match. One team is better than the other team, maybe by not really all that much, but it's still going to be a 5-0. On the scoreboard, It's still going to be a 5-0. So that's why I would have liked to seen this on a couple more maps to kind of see, okay, well, is it really that consistent of Feint being better equipped and better, just kind of playing better? Or was Velocity, do they still have the death match to hang with Feint? It was just maybe an issue with process and things not 100% clicking,
I think,
or their strategy not clicking for the map.
If I were to say what went wrong there, I would not say it was DM. I think I'm not sure it was the map either. Like, I don't think, from having played on Feint don't have a ton of practice on process and Velocity. It's not like process has been a bad map for them, in my opinion. I think they're a decent team at process, and so I don't think that was the issue, but it was more their coordination, especially not necessarily their coordination, but their Uber positioning, perhaps. Like, there was a lot of post Ubers where the players got caught, or some Ubers, Shamu would get dropped before it even happened. So there's maybe a bit of miscommunication there, and some Ubers Sky would just die right after, so they were kind of struggling because they had to go really deep to get the force sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to do it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It was a fantastic match. I want to give a huge shout out to Looster for running production, and a huge shout out to Deathy for casting with me tonight. Deathy, any final words from you, buddy?
Not particularly. Shout out to both teams for putting on a show for us, and shout out to you guys in the chat, and you eXtine as well as Looster for the camera. Listen, you got to give the cameraman some love.
That is for sure. Thanks so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to hit that follow button. Follow Team Fortress TV on Twitter. Check their website, of course. And, stay tuned for news of next week's matchups, because certainly there's going to be more TF2 action next week, and teamfortress.tv will be returning to cover that. So we hope that you will be joining us again. Thanks so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Looster, Deathy, and the rest of the teamfortress.tv crew, I am eXtine, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out!